Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the
universe.
Eric, please.
Lord, we come before you today with open hearts and open minds. We want to thank you for the blessings of our safety, our health, family, and friends. Help us to use the gifts that we've been granted to help those in need in our local area and the world. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test: is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Keith, do you have a song for us today? No, I do. Okay. And we'll be getting the
Getting to the anniversaries in a second, Yuli and myself, but the song leads itself to the anniversaries. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Very
Great
nice. Okay, before we get to anniversaries, are there any guests today? Are there any guest Rotarians today? And then there's anniversaries. Julia.
Nick, tell us all about it, please. We know Kristen couldn't make it, but we're happy for your anniversary.
Yeah, anything you want to say here? Kristen and I have been married 18 years, 2 kids. My daughter Ayla's 14 and son is 11. And as Mike said, they're giving us a run for our money right now. I've looked at the calendar. I think I have 1 weekend until August that's available that I'm at some sport event. So happy 18 years, and she'll love the rose. Thank you.
There you go.
Happy anniversary. Thank you, Nick. And Doug and Stephanie are celebrating their anniversary this month.
Thank you. She wasn't able to come. She still works. 38 years ago, we flew to Hawaii, took a week, and we'd get up one morning and say, want to get married today? I said, no, let's do it tomorrow. And anyway, we finally went, took a bus into town and found a justice of the peace and hired a lady to stand up with us. So 38 years later, it's all good.
Thank you so much, Mark.
We do have a few other Rotarians, and I'll just give them credit where credit's due here. Larry Campbell and his wife Celia celebrate on June 27th. Larry couldn't be here. Jared Couch and his wife Wendy was on June 12th. Mary Ryan Crandall was on June 10th. Travis Heisman was hoping to be here with his wife Vicki. Unfortunately, he had conflict. That was June 25th. Joe Jones and his wife Tessa, just in June, I don't have the date. Samantha Stormont and her husband Nick, June 5th. And then, as you've already found out, Nick and Doug. So let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, very good. Some club business. We're in Team June. 2 more Thursdays for June, Team June. Budget, real quick, about the auction. So we had a board meeting last night, had a great board meeting. We transitioned from this year's board to next year's board. Christine's going to be very fortunate. She got a great board coming in. So you're going to have a little bit of money to spend. So just to bring you up to date on auction, thanks to Steve for doing some of that calculus work. So we brought in a little more than $280,000 for the auction. We had a little more expensive. Yeah, you can clap. we have about 60 grand in expenses this year. So a little more in expenses. So brings us down to about 220, 230. Plus we have for the auction. Plus we didn't spend a lot of money. We still have some money this year. So Christine's going to have a lot of money at her fingertips this coming year. And we have the two big projects, the pickleball court project and the Janicki restroom project. Josh, I saw you walk in for a minute. Are you comfortable talking about the pickleball for a minute? Just give us a little update.
Yeah, I'm not running very well these days either because of pickleball a little bit.
Too much pickleball.
That's right. Yeah, or not enough maybe. So yeah, so we kind of formed this unofficial committee for this pickleball project, and we've been meeting for the last few weeks now at the school district office, Brett Greenwood, and he has Mike Stevens there helping us out, and Stephen Dahl, I invited him on into the conversation. And of course, Rich and Phil have been there, and Chad Paulson. So right now, I think it's been put out there, but right now we're looking at a 6-court complex at Janicki Fields. And Jordan Janicki has been helping us design kind of the court layout. And it was actually his idea to put it where we're planning to put it, which is on that existing gravel parking lot just east of Pat's Playground. So the site and the ground is pretty much already ready for it. It just needs to be leveled, and then we're on to fine grading and asphalt and surfacing and nets and lights. And so it's really not that, as far as subcontractors are concerned, it's not that big of a project and big of an ordeal as some projects could be, right? And some projects that we've done in the past. So we're still kind of trying to work out the budget. We don't quite know what the total cost is going to be yet, but we're not sure also if it's going to be, a this year project only, or if it's going to go multiple years yet. It'll be kind of dependent on the budget. So, but we're kind of in that initial planning phase and talking to these major subcontractors and getting quotes from them. And so I think things will start happening this summer for sure. So what's that? Yeah, and one of the reasons why we chose to do this pickleball court project in the first place was because there was going to be an opportunity for some outside donor money. And we didn't know for sure what it could be, but we thought there might be a good chance to get a good chunk of money for it. And Claude Blackburn, who has his name on the pickleball court complex at Skagit Valley College, just called the Blackburn Pavilion, he's put it out there that we can start kind of putting it out there to the public that he's going to be a donor, and he said up to 25% for right now. So yeah, and that's great news. We rarely have that opportunity as Rotary Club to have an outside donor of that magnitude. So yeah, so thanks, Stephen, for reminding me. So yeah, so Claude, I'm starting to get to know him a little bit on the pickleball courts. I'm going to try to get a game with him and maybe let him win a couple matches and try to schmooze him a little bit and get him to know our club a little bit better too. So that helps. So no. So yeah.
The moral to the story: when he's on the sidelines trying to get into play, we let him play, right?
That's right. Yeah, his name's on the side of the building. We let him play. Does anybody have any questions about kind of where we're at? We're like I said, we're kind of still in the beginning stages, but things are starting to roll here. Carl.
Is the surface going to be concrete?
Is the surface going to be concrete? No, the surface is going to be asphalt. So it's a more forgiving surface for people like me that play this game. And that's why they that's why they do tennis courts out of asphalt mostly. So, concrete was an option, but it's just a better surface for people's joints. So long term. So anybody else? It will not be covered. We're designing though for planning to cover it in the future. Obviously, you can't have enough covered areas in the Northwest here. The Blackburn Pavilion is fully covered. They have 10 courts that are covered, and it's used 360 days out of the year. So yeah, we are going to plan to cover it, but it's very expensive to put a cover up like that, to put a lid on it. I mean, maybe it might add another $1 million to it. So, so that'll be out there, in the future, maybe, but we will plan to cut, to do the things we need to do right now, so we don't have to go back and do a bunch of rework, to cover it in the future. So, yes. Yeah, we need a surveyor for this project. We don't have an active surveyor in the club anymore. So if anybody knows one that can come help us out, but yeah, that'll be kind of the next state, the next phase of this is to get somebody out there to see how level or unlevel it is. So, and it sounds like it might be me and Dad going out there initially. Okay, anybody else? All right,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks, Josh. And remember, the genesis of this project started with Rich. This was President Rich's vision. So excited to see this come through. The other project is the restroom over at Janeke for on the other side of Patrick's Playground there. And this is kind of turning into a little complex. So you have the Pat's Playground, you have the restroom, you have the pickleball courts on the other side, working with the school district with the restrooms as well. But one question that came up was parking. We're actually going to expand parking with the location of the pickleball courts and working with the city. Thank you, Julia, for helping with grading and things like that. So those are the two big projects that we have going on right now. Questions about that? Anything? Any questions? Okay. We have an installation coming up. It's on the 30th. Becky, do you want to talk about? Okay, I know you got a sign-up sheet over there.
I do, and several of you have emailed me to let me know who's coming and who your guest is. So please, I mean, this year our catering expenses have gone way up. And so it's around 40 to 45 a person. So I want to get the number really right. And so you guys can help me do that. 5:30 is the social hour right out here on the patio. And then we'll start the evening at 6:45.
Okay.
It'll be lovely, June 30th.
Thank you. And did you pass around your sheet there, Becky, or? You got them at the door. Great. And Mr. Stiles, you want to talk a little bit about the run that's coming up?
Thanks, Joe. Hey, how's everybody doing? Good? Come on. That's what I'm talking about right there. So anyway, we're here for the Sedro Woolley Foot Race. It's coming up on July the 4th. So that's just a few weeks away. And it's going to be on Tuesday this year, July 4th. So I'm just going to run through kind of the checklist here. This is primarily for registration, which is one of the big things Rotarians do. It's also the traffic control, because we don't want to ruin our record of nobody getting run over by a car. All right. That's a big plus, right? Or a horse. And that's almost happened a few times too. And so just bear with me here as I run through it. We're also doing the same thing we did last year, I believe, and that is to have a check-in the night before. So on July 3rd from 4 to 6 o'clock, we will have a check-in and registration for anybody who wants to register a little bit early. And so we do that at the gym. And last year, Steve Huggins, Phil Brockman, and Daryl Heisler did it. You guys able to do that again? You even know what I'm talking about, Daryl? Okay. And Phil, how about you? You're there? And I know Stevie, so he's going to do it again too. So that's good. Okay. For on July 4th, we have Mike Swigert opening up the gym. Able. So Daryl's going to be in charge of that now? You got a key? Well, nice. Okay, we'll get you down. So about 6:45, we need somebody there to be opening up the gym because Kyle's going to need to be able to get some chairs that are out of there, and some tables, right? And power probably primarily. So That's good. So we got, Kyle's also going to be there. He's got everybody ready to go as far as the pre-registration and the computers and everything. So we need Steve and Les Huggins to be in charge of the parking signs again. So Les, you able to do that? And you know where the signs are at? Do you? You ready to go? Okay, perfect. Okay, for registration. So this starts at 7 o'clock in front of the gym. So again, Steve Huggins. How about Carl Garrison? Ready to go. Bill McCann. Perfect. Chris Johnston. All right. This is what I like. People just say, let's do it. Keith Wagoner. Don't see him here. Kyle Rutherford's going to be there. Daryl Heisler, you also kind of go right into the registration as well. Okay. How about Mark Nielsen? And you going to be there? He will not be there? How come? Okay. We'll get into that later. Right. How about Eric R. Johnson? Can be there. All right. Mike Swigert, you help for registration too? I did help with that. But you're not going to be here, are you? Okay. Yeah. It's better to have more than not enough. So. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're axed. How about Sheena Burns? Perfect. Yulia Garrison and Mayor Johnson. Ready to go? Okay. 7 o'clock at the gym. All right. Setting up for the start finish line. John Janicki usually brings the scaffolding and so forth. Is John here? Okay. We'll have to follow up with him to be able to do that. You know, Charlie Bush took over last year, setting up the race course, the signage, the cones. He's getting the oranges that Phil Mihalik always used to get. He's setting up the tent and everything for the water at the start finish line. So I appreciate Charlie doing that. Do you need a little bit of help for that? Last year, Paul Wagner did some help with that. Is Paul here? Okay, we'll have to follow up with that. I've been in touch with Sue Stratoff. It looks like Dwayne Lane Ford's going to provide the 500 bottles of water again. So when you see Sue, make sure you thank her for doing that. And how about Becky LD? Are we going to do door prizes this year? Yeah. You're all over that? Okay, perfect. This year, Mike Mosier is in charge of getting the sound system set up, and I understand he's already taken care of that. All right, and he's going to be doing our emceeing and making announcements. All right. Let's see, traffic control. Here we go. Metcalf and Warner Street, Daryl Skiles. Always there. State Metcalf, Travis Heisman. Travis, no, not here. And let's see, Metcalf and Ferry was John Janicki, Ferry and Murdoch, Mike Janicki, Ferry and Puget, Ken Van Loo. All right, we'll get them later. Ferry and Reed Street, David Bricka. Always there. You've been there every year for a lot of years. That's right. Ferry and Haynes, John Schmidt. John here? Ferry and Central, Don Olmsted. Ferry and Ball, Pat Eason. Thumbs up. Ferry and Township is Danny Sims, and he told me last year he wasn't going to be here today, but we'll still do that. And he's the one that let the whole team of horses in that almost caused I remember seeing the horses go down Township Street to the intersection of Ferry and State Street, right when the runners were kind of coming through. And I remember my brother Brian was kind of trying to traffic control this, and he kind of looked like George Custer, I think, right in the middle of that whole thing. So anyway, fun to watch anyway. State and Township, Stephanie Bachmeyer. All right, State and 10th, Sandra Jensen. State and 11th, Charlie Jensen. State, Minkler, and Railroad, Rick Limley. All right, Hohen and Fruitdale was Brian Stiles. Fruitdale and River. We don't need anybody for that because there's signs down there. River and Township Street was Eric A. Johnson, Ben Johnson, and Tim Lair. You able to handle that? Okay. Township and Jennings was, what's that? Okay. All right. Township and Jennings was Adrian Santangelo. Township and Alexander was Carrie Storley last year. Do it? Okay. Township and Sterling was Don Ostrom. Okay. Township and Fidalgo was Steve and Rebecca Skrindy. Did I pronounce that right? Skrindy? Since we're talking about you, is that I announced last week is I gave her like notice like 2 weeks ago to get sponsors, and she raised like $6,000 in like 2 weeks. So let's give her a big hand right there. Yeah, but you know, when Rebecca calls, people say yes. So that's the way it works around here. So Doug, what do you got? Was that you who did that last time? Well, I don't know. I remember a horse going up on its back heels at some point. So anyway, it could have been somebody else. I didn't, you know, nobody accused you of doing anything, Doug. But now that you've admitted it, so okay. Let's see. Township and Jameson was Eric and Julia Johnson. Okay. Phil Brockman on Township and Bennett. Okay. Let's see. Looks like. Is there, well, I had Carrie down for 2 different spots. So I guess, is there somebody else? Is there a twin or what? That's your brother? Okay. Okay. And then Tessa Ross was on Township and Warner. Okay. So what's that? Yeah, please do. Okay. Again, people that are doing traffic control, show up to Limley Chapel at 9 o'clock to get your safety vests, and then go out in that way to check in so we can make sure that people are on the street corners. A lot of the corners, the police are also there as well, but we just need to have people check in at 7 o'clock. So we do have to do water stations, and Maggie Janicki did the 1 mile. Is Maggie here? Okay, and the Jensens did the other 1 mile station. We'll have to talk to them. And I think Eric and Tim down on the 3 mile mark, you guys ended up doing a water station there. And then Tessa Ross did the 4 mile station. All right. We have the pleasure of having Keith Sorsted do the national anthem again this year. So I'm telling you, it's fantastic every year. Joe B's going to pull out his black powdered rifle to start the race again. So listen for that, because you can hear it all around town. And, you know, I think that's just about it for now. I'll do this again next week, but just only talk about the people I don't have so far. And we can't end without recognizing Kyle Rutherford right over there. He's the one that does all the hard work. So give him a big hand. That's it.
Sounds great. Okay, just to finish up with business, Christine, we had a board meeting at my house last night. Like I said, we're looking at the bylaws and reviewing the bylaws, and there are some proposed amendments. So Christine's going to follow up with this. Christine, just come on up here and use this mic.
Okay, thank you. So our bylaws haven't been amended since 2009. So Sheena was nice enough to take the PDF version that we had and put it into a document, which I'm going to share with everybody because I would like input from the club on some proposed changes that we have made. And then we'd also like to do a workshop to be able to put those amendments in and then present them to the club. My goal is to have the amendments done and presented to the club as a whole by the end of July. So if anyone is interested in being on that workshop committee to update the bylaws, that would be great. But I am going to send the version of the bylaws to everybody so that you can look at them.
Great. Thanks, Christine. I have no other club business. Is there any business from the floor? Okay, with that said, I think we have a raffle. We're ready to go. Carl.
Number 41, number 41. Okay, number 50. 50. Got beer or spin the wheel? I'm gonna take the beer right there. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Number 44. Got the choice of spinning the wheel or not? Cascades Quick Lube.
There you go.
Let's see if I can find that real quick. Number 56.
Guys or gal paid $2. Oh, the girls paid $2.
Oh, there you go. You're on, Bill.
I'm on.
You're
on. Okay, I get
Sergeant
to
of
be
Arms.
Sergeant at Arms occasionally, and I appointed a PLO. All, do you remember what PLO stands for? Permanent Latrine Orderly. That comes from no times from sergeants. The other one was Jeff, and he's not here. So Christine, you can be the temporary permanent latrine orderly. That means you can pick up for me, please, if you don't mind. You see, I'm wearing my Western sweatshirt. It was a brand new one I got from my granddaughter who graduated this last weekend. So if you attended or graduated from Western, you're going to be exempt from any fines today. Okay. Let's see here. Why do we do this in the first place? We do it to raise money for our events. Josh, what's the barbecue going to cost approximately? Do you know that? What's the salmon barbecue going to cost? About 5,000, and the installation of 5,000 or more. And Mr. Brockman, how much are we going to be raising by increasing the dues to apply that might be applied towards some of these costs?
About $5,000.
About $5,000. So we have to raise the rest with fines.
That's
now,
right.
this is going to be short and sweet. This is graduation time of the year. So if, like me, like Brock, like most of us, if you're a graduate of Sedro Woolley High School, you got to be proud, and that's going to be $1. If you're not a graduate of Sedro Woolley High School, it's $2. How are we doing? Okay. We have a good program coming up, and I don't want to cut Mark short, so happy bucks.
I had the chance to bump into Beth Mauden last week, and she wanted to make sure we had lots of good parties. So I just Venmo'd $125 from Beth. She says hi to you all. And if you ever get down to Scottsdale, give her a call.
So I wanted to call out my favorite neighbor, the greatest neighbor in the universe, Lynn Tucker. Here's a happy 40. Lynn's been helping us clear a lot of wood and brush and things like that from our backyard and front yard. I think the greatest thing he did, though, was he got rid of, didn't kill it, but got rid of a snake. Might have been one of the snakes that's terrorizing Ellen. We're not sure yet, but and I'll admit it's terrorizing me too. So anyway, thanks a lot, Lynn. Appreciate you.
Happy 20 for getting back from my Gulf Island boating trip safely, and more details if you want them. I'll tell you a good boating story.
Great.
Have a happy $10. It's been like 4 years ago, we went Sedro Woolley Rodeo, went from semi-pro to professional. And we got our contestants, the people who've entered up already this year. This year we got 13 bareback riders, 22 bronc riders, 10 bull riders, 25 team ropers, 32 barrel racers. It's going to be an unbelievable show. So thank you for everybody who supports or is supporting of the rodeo, and we're really changing it around into a professional thing.
What day is the rodeo on?
July 3rd and 4th. It's
3rd and
in
4th.
the evening on the 3rd and right after the parade on the 4th.
Got it.
I just got a happy 20 for having good neighbors. And I get to pick up my grandkids to help me work in the yard this afternoon. So I'll have a 4.5 and a 1.5-year-old slaving away for me in the yard this afternoon.
Anybody else? I guess that's it.
Christine.
Oh.
So I guess it's a happy 18 or 17 because I went to Sedro Woolley High School and I owed $2 because I didn't go to Western. But it's the last day of school today. We survived. The kids should all be home terrorizing their own families. So, yeah, it was graduation, I thought.
Oh, no, I just.
Oh, no.
People who did go to Western.
No, I was a lady. I forgot. I'm a lady. I had to pay $2, but it's $20.
All right. Nice. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
We've got our daughter visiting with our baby granddaughter for the first time from Canada. And it was pretty nerve-wracking because we were not sure if they would make it. Her husband is currently in Toronto for a conference. And all of a sudden we thought, oh, maybe we need a letter of consent for her to cross the border. All of a sudden, the last moment, she is figuring out the letter of consent. He's already in Toronto. Anyway, life is good. They made it. No one even asked for the letter of consent. So I guess we're past COVID regulations and all of that nonsense. So there we go. Now we have our little baby cuddle bug in the living room on the floor.
Can't take her back. Okay, I think we're almost done.
$1 for that and the excellent announcement that I just got 40 yards of manure delivered today. So, yeah, no shit.
So Kate Howland actually had her hand up online. Kate, if you want to unmute and talk to us.
Sure. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. I have a happy 50 because my husband and I are expecting our first baby in October, and you can go after Tim for happy grandpa bucks.
There you go.
Super.
I just saw Tim mouth to Julia there that he's going to match that 50. Anything else? Anybody else? Great. Thanks, Bill. Okay, let me introduce Mark Pearson, Trek for Treasure. So if you have never signed up for Trek for Treasure, you're missing out. This has been a lot of fun over the last few years. I think I've done 50 or 60, maybe more hikes than I would have if Tamara and I didn't sign up for the Trek. So I'm going to turn it over to Mark. So let's give Mark a big warm welcome.
Okay, thanks for having me. My name is Mark Pearson. I'm the Active Living Manager for United General District 304. And Active Living program is one of 6 programs that the hospital focuses on to improve the health of our community. And obviously, through the Active Living program, our focus is to help our community be more active, and as a result, improve their health. And Trek for Treasure is one of our big programs, but we also have the fitness center, we have yoga, we have our Skagit Nature RX program, and Skagit Trail Builders. So we're part of helping build trails, getting people outdoors, getting people indoors at our fitness center, and anything that we can do to help people sort of move more and get active. How many of you have participated in any of our programs or know of somebody participating in our programs? Great. So it looks like the majority of you. So for those who don't know how Trek for Treasure works, this is our 13th year, and it's grown to be one of the biggest programs in all of Skagit County. And we're proud to say we have over 1,000 people participating. And the premise of it is pretty simple. It starts in June, it goes through the summer, June, July, August. And we have 2 different levels. We have more of a beginner level, more of a moderate, intermediate type level. You sign up as teams of 2 or more. Most teams comprise about 2 to 3 people, which is cool. We have families do it. We have multiple generations do it, which is pretty awesome. We have some businesses that form teams that participate. And the premise of it is they go on a hike every 2 weeks, and we give them all the information. We give them a trail map, and I'll show you how that works. And we go out and look for a treasure, or we try to solve a riddle or a theme. So we've gone out in the years and searched for Sasquatch, pirate treasure. Last year we had an Egyptian treasure-based theme. We've done ghost trails and tells, and this year we have the search for DB Cooper. Who lived here in 1971? Remember this when this happened? Yeah. So back a long time ago, over 50 years ago, here in our state of Washington, the DB Cooper escaped from the airplane coming out of the Seattle airport and was never found. And in fact, it's the FBI finally closed the case after 50 years, and here we are, we're going to solve it, right? So, but that's part of the premises. We try to make new themes, try to make it fun, make it interesting, have people get out and explore this wonderful area we live in, because this is about as great as we can get, right? And we live up near the wonderful mountains, near the ocean, lakes, we got everything here. So that's our goal, is just to draw people out and get some exercise, spend some time with friends, spend some time with family, get the benefits of being outdoors, the mental health benefits. So we're very proud of what we do and proud to see all the people that we send out. This is our team. Every year we, Kyle Hooker, myself, and Sasquatch, we consult with him to just provide us input on good trails, and he's been really good. This is just example of various places and various teams, and you can see people are having a fun time. Some of those are Northern State. We got awesome trails just right here in our little town, and we've utilized even places here in Sedro Woolley. One year we did the museum, we did the library. So not only just getting people on trails, sometimes we stretch it out and we get explore other areas. But you can see all age groups and various places, intensities. And I see even a few teams here, and Chris, he's done it how many years now? He's done it from the very beginning. Anybody have an idea where this is? Oyster Dome, very good, yeah. Right in our neck of the woods, Choking Up Mountain, Oyster Dome. So what about this one? Yeah, Coopville, Evie's Landing, yeah. Very good. So pretty awesome. I mean, how many places can we say we can drive within a half an hour to hour and experience stuff like this? This is 2 of my boys, and any idea where that's at? Yeah, Diablo Lake. Very good. Another pretty cool place. And of course, this is up in the Cascade Mountains, and yeah, exactly. So, I mean, just remarkable area we live in. And that's also anybody have an idea there? That's not Sauk, but it looks like it. That's also up Mount Baker area in the Cascade Loop. So up on near Artist Point, and it's really just pretty spectacular. And then what about this one? Any idea here? Well, that does look like that. No, frequency close. This is a little bit tricky one. This is Baker Lake. I heard somebody say that. Yeah, we did that one last year, and so I mean, it's just pretty awesome. Wherever we go, we got lots of places and lots of things to experience. And this is just an example for those who haven't done it. We provide every team with a map. We give detailed instructions on what they need to do and how to prepare and to make sure they hike safely. And if they need a pass, what to expect. And so far, we haven't gotten anybody lost, knock on wood. And we do fun little riddles and we do fun little clues. So this was one year we did picture clues. This might be hard to tell. I circled some of the areas. Some of you may have did it back in 2021. Any idea what some of those clues could represent? Well, the circled part on the helmet, this was a fantasy theme, so this was a dwarf. That circled area right there is Rainbow Bridge, and where's that? LaConner. And so there's an area called Pioneer Park, and we associate it with a nice little fun little riddle or little clue. So they associate this along with the picture, and they go out and try to find. So, you know, in the end, there's a fun little challenge and a competition where teams sort of compete to get prizes, but ultimately it's about just the journey rather than the destination. It's just getting out and being with friends and family, and we're going to have a good time. And every team who does complete the challenge, we enter them in a raffle for prizes, and we thank our sponsors. We have Peace Health and Sedro Woolley McDonald's have been one of our main sponsors for several years, and Stowe's in Burlington. And this is just another little example of a little map, and just to make sure people have everything they need to do. Because you know how it goes. We all have the intention of getting out and doing things, but this sort of takes the guesswork out of it. And if you just want to do the hikes and you don't want to do the whole riddles and the competition, that's okay. It's just whatever works for you. Now, I do have a riddle for you, and I have a free t-shirt. This is our year's themes t-shirt, so you get a chance to win one, okay? If I get two, and then I'll take any questions you have. So you ready for this little riddle? All right. Golden treasures I contain, guarded by many, stored in a labyrinth where no man walks, yet men come often to seize my gold. By a fog we are overcome and robbed, then left to acquire more treasures anew. What am I? What was that? River? No. Good guess. Keep guessing. I'll give you a treasure. It's a different type of treasure, okay? So not in the treasure that your mind immediately thinks of. Think of, I'll give you a hint, something sweet. Honey? Whoa. Honeycomb? Yeah, or I would say that's close enough. A honeycomb or beehive. Okay, who said honeycomb and beehive? That's it. give up and just have her do it.
Where do you come up with all these riddles?
Yeah, that's the hard part, honestly. But I have fun. It's a lot of time and preparation, and I try to change up the riddles every year. I think one year, I remember a year, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was here doing a Rotary presentation, and I did really difficult riddles. It was funny, all the comments I had, people were sleepless nights. They were getting together parties and groups of people trying to solve these riddles. And I even had a math one. One time I had a retired math teacher from here in Sedro Woolley. He comes to my office and says, Mark, I'm embarrassed to tell this, but I taught math for 30 years and I can't figure out your math riddle. So it's just what I do and it's fun. So
in other words, you're not going to tell us.
No, it's all created in here, I guess.
How
Yeah,
many
that's-
teams a year are completing the competition?
That's a good question. We have about close to, now some of them complete it, but don't decide not to compete in the final challenge. So it's about 70%. And usually it's closer to about 80% that finish all 5 hikes. It's just that 6th hike is a little harder, a little longer. So really good participation rates, and that's what we love to see.
What's the hardest hike and how long does it usually take?
Yeah, so the level 1, the easier, what we call earth trekkers, can be up to 5 miles round trip and around 1,000 miles or 1,000 feet of elevation gain. So for example, something like Sauk Mountain would be the most difficult in the level 1. And in the level 2, we can get into 6 to 10 miles round trip, 2 to 3,000 feet of elevation gain. So we go from light, moderate to more of a moderate intermediate, nothing too advanced, even at the level 2. And the nice thing is people can take their own time to complete these hikes. They don't have to rush through them. So it's amazing what we've seen. I've seen the 5-year-olds complete the level 2 hikes, and we have a couple that does it every year in their late 80s now. And they've been doing it for about 10 years. So, and they complete the level 2 hikes. Any other questions? Yeah, that's a great question. We do. We have quite a few. In fact, we've noticed a lot more. Of course, we've had Whatcom, Island County. We're getting much more people coming down from south, coming up here, even all the way up from Seattle. And so that's pretty neat. That's what we want. We want to draw people here, and obviously they can go on a hike and hopefully come over here and eat at one of the restaurants and visit our wonderful town. Yes, Louis.
Having gone through 2 heart surgeries, doing the fitness workout there prior to having those heart surgeries, get through the process. Good idea, go out there and do it anyway. Never know when you're gonna have to have something done. Better shape.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, our fitness center is very unique. We have a lot of people, some people with medical conditions, some people with not, some people just a preventative thing. So we try to create just a unique facility in our area for people who need something just specialized, and we're here to help. And we got expert physiologists on staff to help with all types of conditions. So if you yourself or know of somebody else that needs anything like that or just wants to get in better shape, come on by. We'll be happy to help you. Anything else?
Mark, you wouldn't say this, but I'm going to speak for you. I had the privilege of golfing with Mark in a tournament a couple Fridays ago, and 4 of us scrambled for a man best ball. And hole number 4, North Course at Avalon. We took Mark's drive. Mark is up about 125 yards out. Hits it on the green. We couldn't see where the ball went. We get up to the hole, and there's the ball for an eagle.
Nice.
I'm surprised Mark was able to stand upright stage in the ball game because he literally carried the whole foursome. If you need a good golfer to golf and carry the team and end up with at least a 500 or 600 par for the 18, Mark's the man you want to have to do it.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. And just like the golf tournaments, our programs just try to, as long as we're doing it with fun people and having a good time, that's what it's about, right? So just like you guys. So, well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Nice. Mark, thank you. I know my wife wouldn't be happy with me if I didn't mention the Lodge Lopers. That's us. And we take the grandkids out. And they're great hikes. Everyone I go on, the views are wonderful. The scenery is great. One of my favorites was the Monte Cristo. It's a little longer, but you can hike it down along the river all the way down. It brought back a lot of memories for scouts and stuff like that. When we were in Boy Scouts and coming back. But if you have never done the Trek for Treasure, I highly recommend that you sign up. Is it too late to sign up this year?
We can make an exception, but we're getting close.
Okay.
So if you want to sign up, see me.
Well, thank you, Mark. We do have a parting gift from you from the greatest Rotary Club in the universe to sign all those certificates.
Yeah, thank you.
For you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Is there any other business from the floor today? Christine. You. There's a golf tournament coming up at Evergreen Elementary, August 17th at Avalon to benefit the students at Evergreen Elementary, STEM Elementary. Anybody else? I want to congratulate Nick and Doug for your marriages. Congratulations on your anniversaries. And with that, next week, we'll have our student scholarships, about 20 maybe. Student scholarship winners come and join us for next week. And with that said, I will close the meeting for the greatest Rotary Club in the